Swartz. Swartz is a fictional character who serves as the leader of the Time Jackers and the main antagonist in Kamen Rider Z-O. He has the alias Another Decade and originates from an alternate timeline where he and his sister Tsukuyomi belonged to a royal family with chronokinetic powers. Swartz is introduced as a seemingly helpful guide who encourages Sogo Tokiwa to embrace his destiny as the future tyrant king Omazio. But it is later revealed that he orchestrated almost every major event in Zio's life in order to harvest Kamen Rider powers and eventually supplant Sogo himself. He forcibly transforms humans into another riders, brainwashes children, engineers mass destruction, and even erases the memories of his own sister out of jealousy and ruthlessness. Swartz manipulates timelines, summons Dark Riders, steals other riders' powers, including Decades, and eventually aims to steal Zio's power at his peak to merge all Rider worlds into one under his dominion. Ultimately, his arrogance and manipulation backfire. He kills his allies and sister, Tsukuyomi, only to be defeated by Sogo's transformation into Omazio. Tsukuyomi then betrays and mortally wounds him, and Sogo executes him with the Demon King's power. In the reset timeline created after his death, he appears again as a normal school principal, implying he retains memories of his former scheming self. Swartz is one of fiction's most evil villains, not due to supernatural powers alone, but because of his sadistic manipulation of fate, betrayal of family and friends, orchestrations of trauma, and inhuman disregard for innocence, all aimed at achieving absolute temporal dominion. Harley Sawyer. Dr. Harley Sawyer, often called the Doctor and known in-universe as Experiment 1354, is the Playtime co-scientist who conceived and directed the infamous Bigger Bodies Initiative, a program that transformed orphan children and other unwitting humans into monstrous living toys to serve the company's workforce. He saw them not as people, but disposable tools to reduce lawsuits, payroll, and oversight while increasing production. Once the protege of founder Elliot Ludwig, Sawyer became bitter and hostile when expelled from Ludwig's Young Geniuses program. He held deep resentment toward him and possibly even had a hand in Ludwig's downfall. After being betrayed himself, following a catastrophic incident known as the Theater Incident, he was forcibly uploaded into the factory's computer systems and transformed into an experiment. Reduced to organs housed in mechanical systems and controlling the plant visually through static-filled screens, Sawyer continued his cruel reign as a digital intelligence. He allied with the prototype, used his creations like Yarnaby and Nightmare Critters to torment and imprison victims in the prison, and manipulated events to maintain control over the factory's operations via the Omni-Hand artifact. Sawyer is branded as fiction's embodiment of pure evil due to his apathy toward human life, calculated transformation of children into monsters, betrayal of his mentor, ruthless pursuit of immortality, and overall role as the architect of Playtime Co.'s descent into horror. He's brilliant, remorseless, manipulative, narcissistic, sadistic, ego-driven, and utterly devoid of empathy. Gigan. Gigan is a cyborg kaiju first appearing in the 1972 film Godzilla vs. Gigan, engineered by the M-Space Hunter Nebula aliens, the Nebulans, as part of their plan to conquer Earth. He serves as the main or major antagonist in several Godzilla films, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, and Godzilla Final Wars, and appears in the TV series Zone Fighter. He is characterized as sadistic, brutal, psychopathic, and merciless, delighting in torturing opponents such as Godzilla, Anguirus, Jet Jaguar, Zone Fighter, and Mothra, inflicting prolonged suffering with no empathy, and often taunting and laughing in the midst of mutilation. His abilities include a chest-mounted buzzsaw, hooked or blade hands, later chainsaw arms, powerful I-beam attacks, flight, brute strength, and agility. He was the first kaiju in the series to make Godzilla bleed, cementing his reputation as particularly violent and effective. His moral event horizon includes mass torture, genocide, terrorism, world domination attempts, and outright omnicide, abandoning allies and inflicting mass arson and mutilation for sheer enjoyment. His popularity stems from his unusual alien design and vicious brutality. He remains one of Godzilla's most infamous enemies, despite occasional goofy personality moments. Final Wars, he is revealed as an ancient weapon reawakened by the Exilians, upgraded and unleashed once again to wreak destruction before ultimately being defeated. Gigan's consistent portrayal across multiple media as a remorseless torturer and world destroyer, combined with his relentless brutality and uniquely frightening cyborg form, make him one of fiction's most malevolent villains. Maleficent. Maleficent is a powerful dark fairy and the main antagonist of Disney's Sleeping Beauty. Introduced in 1959, she is regarded as one of Disney's most iconic and evil villains. After not being invited to Princess Aurora's christening, she places a curse on the infant, declaring that Aurora will prick her finger on a spinning wheel and die before the sun sets on her 16th birthday. Her actions are driven by spite, vanity, and a thirst for vengeance, making her a symbol of pure evil. Maleficent lives in the Forbidden Mountain, surrounded by goblin-like minions and her loyal pet raven Diablo. She possesses immense dark magical abilities, including shape-shifting, teleportation, and the power to conjure green fire. Her most terrifying form is that of a massive black dragon, which she transforms in during the climax of the film in an attempt to kill Prince Philip. Her sinister demeanor, theatrical presence, and relentless cruelty cement her as one of fiction's most malevolent characters. He proudly refers to herself as the mistress of all evil, embracing her role as a force of darkness. Though later reimagined in the live-action films with a more sympathetic backstory, the original animated Maleficent remains a ruthless and vengeful villain whose curse drives the entire plot of the film. Her combination of magical power, prideful arrogance, and vindictive wrath exemplifies classic villainy, earning her a legacy as one of the most evil and iconic figures in Disney history. Reclusa. Reclusa is the ancient final villain of Mario and Luigi Brothership, serving as the overarching antagonist in the fictional parallel world of Concordia. He is first encountered as a mysterious dormant entity inside an egg, later revealed to be a powerful robotic being who manipulates others, most notably Cosette, who becomes Zocket, to collect a toxic substance known as gloam in order to resurrect him and enable his plans. His ultimate aim is to fracture Concordia into isolated islands and strip its inhabitants of all bonds and friendships, thereby creating a world without friends, where only the lonely will play. He doesn't merely oppose his enemies, he actively orchestrates the permanent genocide of entire realities by trapping people in dreamlike hallucinations until they starve, and he has succeeded in destroying multiple worlds before Mario and Luigi even intervened. His final battle unfolds through multiple forms, including the imposing Weeping Reclusa, a giant tree fused with electrical cables that dominates the battlefield. and the spiked orb Weeping Core that analyzes and counters players' attacks in real time, further cementing his role as one of the most mechanically and thematically formidable villains in the series. He mocks companionship outright and delights in loneliness as a force of destruction. He views human connection as weaknesses to be eradicated, so he may revel in solitude and play until worlds break, and then repeat the act endlessly unless stopped by heroes. Reclusa is often rated as one of fiction's most evil villains because of his ancient power, successful mass genocide, sadistic dissolution of bonds, and thematic horror rooted in loneliness. Morgoth. Morgoth, originally named Melkor, is one of fiction's most evil villains, originating from J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium. According to the sources, he is a fallen Vala, one of the most powerful beings created by Eru Ilúvatar, the god of Tolkien's universe. Unlike the other Vala, who contributed to the harmony of the world, Melkor sought domination, striving to bend all creation to his will. He corrupted the music of the Ainur, bringing discord to the universe itself. Later named Morgoth, meaning black foe of the world, he became the prime source of evil in Arda. His crimes include corrupting many Maiar, such as Sauron, who later became his servant. He created numerous abominations, like dragons, trolls, and the first orcs, twisting elves into monstrous forms. Morgoth spread war, fear, and ruin across Middle-earth. He destroyed the 2 lamps and the 2 trees of Valinor, murdered Finwë, the first High King of the Noldor elves, and stole the Silmarils, sacred jewels made by Fëanor, leading to endless conflict. He manipulated and cursed countless beings, instigated wars among the elves and men, and caused the death of countless innocents. His influence was so vast that the world itself was permanently scarred. Even after being banished from the world, his shadow lingered, continuing to corrupt. Morgoth's actions were not driven by greed alone, but by a desire to ruin the very fabric of creation. His evil was foundational, poisoning the world itself. His legacy of destruction and corruption makes him one of fiction's most malevolent villains. Unicron. Unicron is a colossal cosmic transformer introduced in The Transformers, the movie, 1986, and the Generation 1 cartoon. Originally created by the ancient genius Primacron to cleanse the universe of life for his own experiments, but who rebelled against his creator and became a godlike force of total destruction. He is also depicted as the evil twin of Primus, the creator of the Cybertronians, embodying chaos and complete annihilation. Unicron is known by many ominous titles: Lord of Chaos, Planet Eater, Chaos Bringer, the Dark God, and appears as a planet-sized robot able to transform into a literal planet. What makes him one of fiction's most evil villains is the scope and emptiness of his cruelty. He devoured entire inhabited worlds, enslaved survivors, such as the Junkians, tortured and broke beings like Galvatron and Starscream, manipulated Decepticons to wage war for his amusement, and nearly destroyed Cybertron and its matrix of leadership. He consumed nearly a fifth of the multiverse, destroyed realms, reformatted survivors into heralds, and killed billions, including Ongenics, and even harmed Primus and Optimus Prime. Morally, he represents absolute nihilism. Existence itself annoys him, suffering feeds him, order disgusts him, and he pursues the end of all things to bask in infinite solitude. His kill count and devastation are inconceivable. He has no redeeming motives, no tragic backstory compelling redemption. He simply exists to end existence. Unicron is one of fiction's most monstrous and evil villains because he is the embodiment of cosmic annihilation, an immortal, planet-eating deity whose only goal is to erase all life, driven by ego, chaos, and the lust for total destruction. Josh. Josh is the main antagonist in the 2011 found-footage horror film Megan is Missing, and he's considered one of fiction's most evil villains due to the sheer depravity of his actions. Josh, whose real name is unknown and who goes by aliases like Skater Dude, is described as the abductor, torturer, rapist, and murderer of two 14-year-old girls, Megan Stewart and Amy Herman, and is categorized as an enigmatic pervert who operates with extreme manipulation, charisma, intelligence, cunning, intimidation, and knowledge of murder and torture methods. He grooms Megan online under false identity, abducts her behind a diner, tortures and photographs her, then later stalks, abducts, rapes, forces Amy to eat dog food, shows her Megan's rotting corpse, locks Amy in a barrel with it, buries her alive, all captured as snuff-style footage and posted online. According to his profile, he likely killed the real Josh to steal his identity and has no redeeming qualities, suggesting a history of identity theft, child grooming, stalking, rape, torture, murder, mass murders, implied dozens, and snuff filmmaking. Critically, he is described as terrifying precisely because his face is never shown, and yet the brutality he inflicts is deeply realistic. A predator in the digital age who preys on teenage girls under the semblance of charm, embodying a moral event horizon so extreme that he remains uncaught and unredeemed at story's end.
Hey everyone, thank you all for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe.